What's up, everybody? This is the final segment of the PC InCntrl episode where we're talking about our PC origins, the first games we played, what got us into PC gaming, and some of our fun experiences. So I'm going to start off with Alan. Why don't you give us a little bit of insight? When did you start playing games on PC?
Well, first let me just emphasize the point that, we are gamers. We don't care what console or what platform it's on, we just love good games. So obviously, if you've got a game that just wowed you, you're gonna, want to focus on that style of game and so on.
Yeah.
And for me, as you know, one of the games that just really, at the time, was like, what the hell is this? Was on PC, and it's a game called Revenant.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people may know this game, but
Do your
oh my
Googles.
days.
Do your Googles.
For the millennials, just
Do
do a little
Googles,
research. But basically, this was the first game I'd ever seen where it was the type where you've got your character, you pick up armor, you equip this set, it gives you this sort of attributes and so on. I mean, that's pretty much mainstream because a lot of games are heading towards the RPG type of genre today.
Yeah.
But this was brand new. I remember it was 21 armor sets back then, and this was just like, what? Now that's nothing. But to literally have someone like, I'd have a save file where I've got a red armor kit, you see someone else has got the dragon bone thing, it was just, what is this? And the PC was the first thing that brought that sort of thing to me.
And we take a lot of things for granted now. In RPGs nowadays, you just open up your inventory and you have this whole big box with all your items. But back then, that was a speciality for PC gaming because you have your mouse and you can pick, all right, I want to move this armor set, whatever. That was a great game. What about, for me, I remember we used to play a game called Myth. Oh, FYI, okay, Alan and I have been playing games together for 20 years or so. 22 years. So
Sega Mega Drive.
Yeah, so we're talking from way back. So basically, he had a game on his PC called Myth.
Myth 2 Soul Blighter.
Yeah, and it's basically, imagine your Command and Conquer or those RTS type games, but with a more gothic, Diablo type theme. And
it was heavy on story.
Very heavy on story. I remember lots of RTSs, your Age of Empires, which was fantastic. Games that I moved on from there, games like Civilization. If you've never seen Civilization, you need to take the time out. Just check up on that game. That game is basically a real RTS real-time strategy game where you control your country and you're your leader, and then the computer has the other leaders that Gandhi's, your George Washington's, and so on. But the best thing about that game is that all these people have random personalities. So you literally can't play this game for an hour, 2 hours. This is in one case, there's a guy on Reddit who's been playing one save file for 10 years. Not even lying. You're going to put the link in this. 10 years.
Finally.
Yeah. So literally you have different relations with all these different leaders and so on. And it's a fantastic RTS. Games like XCOM as well.
XCOM. And I mean, these days, a lot of these PC games are being transferred over to the console markets as well. And not hating on how you play on the consoles, but for me personally, a lot of these, especially strategy games, I so prefer keyboard and mouse. Because, so many of these shortcuts, you literally just press a button or select, as opposed to, L1, R1, you're switching. So you could enjoy some games on console, but you find that if you switch over to PC and you play the exact same games, you'll have a somewhat different experience. I remember Skyrim was so different because you'd have to press pause, you scroll down, you press right. Okay, now you're in your journal or your inventory. I press I. There you go. You're done.
And that's an argument point we have because I'm a PC gamer as well, but I love using the controller. Hence, quick plug, Xbox One X, release date soon, Ole PK, you niggas gonna learn. You're gonna see true power. Anyway. So back to it. Now, other games that you really like playing on PC, that really grasp you. For me, Witcher 3, I played that on PC. I played Witcher 2 on PC. In fact, Witcher 1 as well, but I barely played. But The Witcher on PC was just amazing. And the reason why I say this is that on console, you could see the caps, the times you play the game, and the graphics weren't really loading up. But when you put that thing on the PC and you have your God rays, you've got your NVIDIA Hairworks, these are all things we explain to you guys in due time.
Perfect example, in case you're curious, would be, we'll put this up, comparison of Final Fantasy 15. Now they're just putting it on PC. You can see the graphical difference of the exact same game.
Yeah. So games like that just wowed me. Like you spend hours upon hours upon hours. And I know there's a specific RPG that we discovered 2 or 3 years ago that has a sequel that you want to talk about right now.
Divinity Original Sin.
Breathe it in. Breathe it in.
Says. What a game. I was just saying to you, Ole and PK, you know, when you ask people what's your favorite game of all time, you tend to find that a lot of people think about the nostalgia aspect. You go back to Metal Gear Solid 1, Final Fantasy 7, all of the things when you were a kid, you were just like, oh my god, wow, this is so new. Divinity Original Sin, jumps right up there for the new games like Last of Us for me. It's just absolutely insane. For those of you who are unaware of it, it's basically a video game Dungeons and Dragons, you know. But what's amazing about it is I could play it, and all 4 of us here could play it. We could have completely different experiences.
Pure choice.
Not only in the story aspect, but even in terms of how you solve certain quests and how you solve certain battles. I could be someone who could say, okay, this team, we're going to focus on magic, we're going to move the terrain and so on. You could just be full on brute force, hammering things. You could go all out, where you could have one person have a flying mechanic, fly to a higher area, do higher damage from there, change a surface to water, electrify it. You've got a steam cloud that's electrifying now. It's just so insane, where the thing that amazes me about it is with a lot of games, you can feel what the limitations are. You know, there's no way I can do this. But this is the type of game where you ask yourself, can I do that? And you'd be amazed at the fact that you actually can. For example, there's a tower where the only way you can get to the loot that's at the top, there's no doorway or anything like that. You don't just simply walk up. You could have someone where you've given them flight ability. They could fly inside. I gave someone teleportation ability. I teleported one guy and damaged him, throwing him into the tower. He was able to pick up a loot and I pulled him back out. Like, there's just so many ways you could do the same problems. It's really like a Dungeons and Dragons experience where you're asking the computer, can I do this? And you can.
This could be a really potential Game of the Year game.
Without a doubt. And
sorry, Horizon. I'm sorry. Sorry, Horizon.
Nah, man.
Sorry, Robo dinosaurs. I'm sorry.
You know, keep the sticks and
game is great, but here we're talking about a different level of complexity.
Sorry, and I mean, for these games, you know, one thing you have to take note is it's very story heavy, but for some of the best story games that we know, games like Last of Us and so on, you need to take note that these are games with a scripted storyline with maybe like 5,000 lines of voice acting, hypothetically. This is something where, because you've got so many choices, and by the way, they really do impact every single step of the way. You can kill any NPC you want.
Anyone you talk to, any quest giver.
Doesn't matter you can kill them, and you can solve that quest through another means.
Gain cravings.
But this is something where you've got 50, 100,000 lines of dialogue. Every single bit of it is voice acted. Excellently, I might add. This is definitely Game of the Year for me. Oh my god.
I mean, I have the game. I'm still waiting on my homie to get back because we're going to co-op it. You can play like up to 4 people, local co-op in that game. So I'm waiting to start playing that. The game I've been playing, like I have mentioned earlier, king of my community here in Zambia, is Dota 2. Like, that is my favorite game right now. I started playing it because... Why did I start playing it? Because I kept seeing people that on my Steam list are playing Dota. So I'm like, okay, what's this Dota thing?
And it was just something we just saw on YouTube. People just comment on that in League of Legends.
Yeah. And this girl told me not to play League of Legends and play Dota. And so, all right, cool. So I started playing it. And basically, it's a 5v5 MOBA. Basically, you're playing a game where you and 5 random other people, 9 as a total, but in your team, 4 other random people, or people you know, play against another 5, and the overall goal is to destroy other teams' ancient. That's it. That's all. That's the whole there is to Dota. But the way you make connections, I have actually made real life friends off of this game, which is, it sounds sad, but I do have real friends. This is just an extension. But I mean, I started playing this game in May last year, and I've got like 2,600 hours or something, I don't know, in the game. I'm really addicted, but
that's just sad.
I am just really good at it. But yeah, I love Dota because of you have a selection of over 100 heroes. The game is free. If you have a PC and you go into Steam, Dota is absolutely free. You don't have to pay to win. All the heroes are free. All the abilities are free. All you pay for is aesthetics. And this goes back to episode 11 when the guys are talking about,
Your
loot boxes and stuff. None of that in this game. So for me, that's a game I really, really like. And it really draws me to the PC. And like I said earlier, I like to play games with a controller on PC, but this is one game where I just play with the keyboard, and I don't think you can play it any other way.
There's no way you can.
Yeah, it wouldn't work. Macros, quick note before end, is basically having a specific key or button set to an input. So you can imagine if you're playing Street Fighter and you do a combination to do a Hadouken, so down, forward, and then punch, is now just set to one button. That's what a macro is. That's what he's talking about. But yeah, is there anything else you want to talk about with your PC games from before, your history?
Man, we're like trying to ease them in.
Ease them in.
You don't want to overload them too much. All I can say is, for anyone who is curious about it, check out the games that we talked about. Even if you're not playing, at least just to see. Especially RTS games. If you've never played that before, you might be surprised to find that it's something that you really enjoy. Managing your resources. Oh, by the way, sorry, RTS game, another one that got me into it, Warcraft 3.
Oh, yes.
That is what Dota 2 is actually based off of. There are some people just doing some tweaks to the main heroes that you use. And that has become now one of the biggest esports in the world.
Yeah.
So Warcraft 3 is definitely something, even today, it's dated graphics and so on, I would recommend to anyone to play, especially if you are curious about things like World of Warcraft.
Definitely.
You get a little bit of that lore and so on. But all I can say is, PC gaming, if you've never tried it, at least find someone who has a rig. And actually, to be honest, even to get started, if you want to build your own rig or buy one, that's not too high end, you tend to find that they're about $700 that can still handle the latest games today at
on the highest
1080p.
settings.
Yeah.
Even gaming laptops. You could just start from somewhere. All of us started from somewhere. I also started from a base level, and then I saw someone, shout out Tawanda, playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare on a PC, and it looked. I was like, what? How is computer?
First realization of being capped on
computer playing games. This is not just meant to play your basic solitaires and your random Zika's boardroom guy playing San Andreas or something, or Chi Underground. I was like, wow, that really changed my perspective. But anyway, like we said, it's going to be an ongoing series in time. We'll give you guys more updates, let you guys know more stuff. And if you want to find us on social media, Alan, you are on Facebook as
Alan Erosenin Lloyd. Anyone who watches Naruto, just
perfect.
Keep that to yourselves. But
perfect. Find me on Twitter. I'm not going to give you my Facebook because I don't like playing with people on Facebook. What do you say?
My Twitter.
The camera spoke for some reason. So anyway, I'm saying my Twitter is PSY baby official. Find me on Instagram and on Twitter, and let's chop it up. So I'm really happy we did this segment. Shout out to InCntrl as well, PKLA, and one more time, Urban Geek with a t-shirt love. Guys, go on the social media, check out what they have. If you want anything from them, hit them up. We'll put all the links and everything in the description and in the video. Thanks for the time. Like, share, subscribe. InCntrl. You guys wanted a saying? We don't have one, do we?
PC gaming rocks.
Nah, bro. I'm not. You guys, Xbox One X.
Oh, God.
Xbox One X.